Yefimovich, Chapter 2. The water floated in the air as a shield around the goal, held together with his body and mind by a Maryim man. Two opposing players were flying towards him, one propelled by fire coming from his wrists and feet. The other had hurled himself through the sky by rapidly and aggressively changing the ground below him into a colonnade, causing him to glide through the air like a bullet from a gun. Yefimovich stood on his feet as he saw from the corner of his eye that the time was reaching the final minutes of the game. The Ishan player shot fire from his hands like balls from a cannon, evaporating the water that guarded the net. The Mar player struggled to congeal the liquid, trying desperately to keep his opponent from scoring, gathering droplets within the air and clouds and piecing back together his wall of water. As the water bow was rebuilding his wall, he saw that the Ada player was losing velocity as he approached the goal and formed the water into a sphere and hurled it at the player as if it were coming from a siege engine. The massive marble of spinning water struck the earth-bower, causing him to lose the ball and fall back down to the earth. "No!" shouted Yefimovich, his heart racing from the excitement. The fire coming from the fire-bower now turned to lightning, and he seemed to move like it as well as he pursued the falling ball. He darted through the open air like the bends and cuts of a bolt of fulmination, reaching the ball before it hit the ground. He looked like a rocket as he screamed across the sky, being joined by an air-bower who seemed as weightless as a feather. The two charged head-on, and coming towards them was a Maryim who floated on clouds of water, and an earth-bower who had created planting stones with the floating boulders in the field. The Ada player began to toss the stones at the elusive Ishan as the water bower hurled wave upon wave at the RV player. The earth bower then began to form a vice around the fire bower, laying stone upon stone onto his body as the Ishan struggled to fly across the sky. When all seemed lost for the fire bower, the Ada player was grabbed from the ankles by cuffs made of stone and dragged down to the earth, much like a whip snaps the air. At the same time, the air bower moved the wind with the force of a hurricane, causing the water bower to tumble to the earth with his teammate. The Ishan, sweat pouring from his skin, kicked the ball forcefully at the opponent's goal, hitting the back of the net, giving them 3 points and the victory as the final seconds clicked and the buzzer sounded. The crowd was elated as they sang "The Marching Saints" and tossed confetti into the air in joyous celebration. Yefimovich sang along with the crowd.
"We are the Saints, the marching saints. We are here for victory. How you'll want to be in this number when the saints come marching in. Yea! When the saints come playing drums. When the saints sound victory.